Hello all, Namaste, Adab, and Sat Shri Akal. First, let me thank you all for such a huge response to my Meena Over Matters, the mom video, episode 1. I had almost 6,000 views on Facebook, and that's an enormous deal for me. It means a lot and encourages me to come in front of you every week, whether you like it or not. Thank you for your delightful comments on our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your comments mean a lot to us. Views and opinions in this column, the mom column, are entirely mine and do not reflect the official policy of India Parent Magazine. A very happy Thanksgiving to you all, and please be safe and secure at home with your loved ones. This weekend, I'll announce a few important events coming up on India Parent Magazine, a shout out to Kamala Harris, and then move on to my views on some of the movies that featured this month on the OTT platforms. Starting with Sophia Loren's Life Ahead, multi-starrer Hindi film Ludo, and the Telugu films Miss India and Akasamni Haddura. There are two important events that are coming up on India Parent Magazine that you cannot absolutely miss. They're going to be on a digital platform. One, a distinguished and exclusive open house for schools and homes coming up in January. We are working very hard on this. This will be a virtual event where we will be hosting several schools, private schools mostly, with their spokespersons enlisting their methodology and philosophy to parents interested. Several private schools will be presented here, so you know and how to choose a school as per your child's interests and geographical needs. This will be a great opportunity for all young parents out there to make an informed decision about your child's schooling next year. You will be combining this with homes, that is, a real estate specialist will be brought in representing each city. So one real estate specialist will be representing each city combined with a private school in that area. This unique open house for schools and homes is presented to you, keeping in mind that all young parents, what do they need after all? They need a good home and they're looking for a good school for his and or her family and children. Keeping this in mind, we are bringing a combined event of schools and homes. Second event, and this is very exciting to me, as I love dance, is our first ever prestigious online dance competition for Indian classical dance with 3 categories of first place, second place, and third place in both groups and solos. We will have 2 age groups. The winners will be awarded a cash prize of $1,000 first place, $500 second place, and $250 third place in both group and solo categories. This will be a global competition with eminent classical dance experts as judges. The cash prize will be accompanied by an IPM certificate and a trophy as well. Please don't miss this event. We will have an application form with more details online soon. Please keep checking indiaparentmagazine.org for more details. They'll be up very soon. Now, a few words about our Vice President-elect, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, what can I say about her that has not been said so far? And why only Kamala and not the President-elect, you may ask? While we congratulate both and ask them to be gentle and loving to all American people with no prejudice or favor toward any caste, creed, or race, it is Kamala Harris that most of us look up to with awe, admiration, and in hope. She's a woman of many firsts and one who belongs to all colors and races. White and Jew, as her husband is a white and Jew. Black, as her father was, and Indian, as her mother. And above all, a woman that many future youngsters may look up to with hope and pride, and as does half of the population of the world, the women population. Her importance was recognized and accepted by President-elect Biden as well, who gave her a unique opportunity to precede him and say a few words on the victory speech night. This is also a first for any president-elect. Kamala Harris had made history as the first female, first Black, and first Indian American vice president elect, and a woman of so many firsts happened to be of Indian origin at that, is purely an amazing feeling, and my heart bursts with mixed emotions. Lots of people of different ethnic groups are looking up to her with aspirations and desires in this land that is America. And I truly hope and pray that she does not turn it into a pipe dream. In conclusion, I'm proud of Kamala Harris. No, not because of which party she belongs to. It doesn't matter really. Just she reaching to that position of such with such grit, honesty, and hard work is so gloriously commendable. At an age where many of us think we have reached our prime, the 50s, Kamala Harris showed us that you can find love and power in 50s as well, and that age is just a number. Her demeanor and confidence instills a desire to fulfill our own aspirations, doesn't it? A little cliched, but true, right? Right, moving on to the fun stuff, my reviews of the week. Let's start with the best and go to the worst and back to the best again. I'll start with a quick mention of emotionally poignant movie titled The Life Ahead, streaming on Netflix. This is starring none other than the Italian legend Sophia Loren, an Academy Award winner, now in her 80s. A beautiful actress and an enriching one at that. In The Life Ahead, Lauren's third collaboration with her own son Ponti, she plays an Italian Holocaust survivor known as Madame Rosa, who takes in and eventually bonds with an Senegalese orphan, Momo, played by Ibrahima Gay. It's called Ibrahima Gay. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Lauren returns after 10 years, as she says in the New York Times, that she was enamored by the inclusive and hopeful storyline. The movie revolves around Madame Rosa, who has her own deep, unresolved battles that often leaves her in a trance, and the orphan Momo, a black Muslim boy who is forced under her supervision. He's a rebel, indulges in street drug peddling. The scenes where he enjoys his rich spoils of his illegal activity in terms of a new phone, bike, and clothes bring a smile to your face. His innocence and gleam of pride are so clearly visible that you actually ache for this little darling boy. The bond between the madam and Momo is slow growing and an incongruous one at that. They give strength to each other, share a common bond of suffering, and in spite of it, learn to give to others and share others' tragedies. The finale is a fulfilling one with both wealth and loss shimmering in your heart, touching your soul. There are a few scenes that will fill your eyes with tears and hope as well. This is a movie that drags you into its joy, hope, and fulfillment all in one go. And there are times when I just wanted to get up and hug both Madame Rosa and Momo or someone like them, or just help someone like them. Your heart fills with joy when Momo, in spite of his tender age and easy money access, makes a U-turn and chooses a harder but a legal life and a fulfilling one at that over a quick buck in dealing drugs. The Life Ahead is a must-watch this holiday with family to indulge in that cozy, warmth, blanket-like feeling. Go ahead, it's streaming on Netflix. I'll say a few words about the Telugu film Miss India and Hindi film Ludo before I move to my favorite movie of this month, directed by Sudha Kongara. I truly wanted to root for Miss India, starring the Mahanati actress Kirti Suresh. I wanted to like it, admire it, and give a great review. Women to women encouragement and all that, you know. However, the movie is not merely a disappointment in storytelling, but also a major letdown in all reasonable areas, mainly the brain. For instance, and it's unreasonable, and loses any realistic values. It is like a movie built on quotations. If any one of you have gone to the pizza place called Paology, where you get to make your own pizza, I often visit the one in Fremont, you get to see lots of quotations on the wall as you're waiting for your order. I love reading them, copying one or two of them, texting my kids as I wait. I feel the director must have done just that, collected a bunch of quotes from around the globe and built a meaningless and illogical story over them. The movie is so full of nonsensical and no contextual quotes. Miss India is about a girl from a small village in rural Andhra. There are some mixed messages coming from each one of the family members. Both brother and mother come across as misogynistic sexist. Father tells his 8-year-old daughter, who tops her class, that future goals are more important than current grades. I mean, what was that? Grandfather is busy with developing a mind blowing chai with natural ingredients. No wonder the girl grows up so confused with her values. She becomes a megalomaniac with a huge sense of self importance. Movies full of unnecessary and idiotic scenes. For example, what's with the elder daughter's wedding? Do they kick her out because she married a Muslim? Or so I thought, because there she is on her wedding day with no bindi on her bride's face. So I thought maybe she married a Muslim. So what? Big deal. I mean, what is the purpose of this scene? I didn't understand, frankly. And there are so many purposeless scenes in this 2.5 hour bore of a movie. Strangely, after the father is afflicted with Alzheimer's and loses his job, they all decide to move to the US. Okay, fine. As the brother gets a good job in California somewhere. Funnily, the family discusses who should go to the US, as if the immigration office is waiting there for their arrival with a big harati. The American embassy must be in their pockets as all of them get visa and move to California. For some reason, the heroine insists on people calling her by her full name, Manasa Samyukta, with misplaced pride, and insists on doing business and eventually narrows it down to chai. It's funny business because all of us Californians drink chai all the time at home. And a shout out to all my friends out there, Naveena, Padma, and my husband Tulsi Ram, who brews fantastic chai, by the way. And Starbucks has already been carrying chai latte for years, but our heroine makes it look like the idea of the century to bring chai to Californians. And just chai. I have never seen any eatables in her shop, no pakodas, nothing, just chai. She meets Jagpati Babu, king of coffee and a billionaire at that, who makes it to the cover of all the magazines in the US, including Forbes. But our silly heroine, who is big in her ambitions, but a zero in her brains, in this age and time, doesn't know that the face of Babu while she's seeking his investment in her company. I mean, is this ridiculous or what? Have you heard of Google? Hello? The director is more focused on her dress, style, sunglasses, and Mercedes than her brains. All men in her life are interested in her personally, and that makes us feel like junk, as it looks like she is using them knowing that they are interested in her. This is a major flaw in the movie, hence, you cannot really root for her. Even the interview with her so called boss, who she is friends with, sounds so shallow and undermines all the hard work women entrepreneurs put in to grow in their personal ventures. Actors except Nadia, Naresh, whose serious medical issue, by the way, is mocked about throughout the film in the name of comedy, and Rajendra Prasad, and all the actors except these three are dull, boring, and monotonous. Kirti is so emotionless that you sometimes want to shake her. Even her delivering birthday wishes to a friend comes out so dead and so dull. All men actors are extremely bad looking, frankly, sorry to say. Um, I find this movie a big bore, hallucinatory, and actually comical at the simplistic notions the director has towards serious business of business. For instance, when Kirti wants to take up an offer to deliver products to a company on credit, that is, she gives them goods up front without taking any money. This is to come out of the dirt she is in. She asks her friend to check into the company. Okay, no deep investigation, no meeting with expert, no online research, or no research at all for that matter on some strange company. What a brainless piece of artwork she is. The lady is so full of herself that when she's thinking of a name to a company, I seriously thought she would somehow involve her grandfather's name, as he's the one who came up with this fantastic chai formula and she's actually copying his idea. But no, she names it Miss India, maybe secretly imagining that she is Miss India. And yes, even I was duped into thinking that this movie is about fashion and beauty industry. But no, this is about chai. Sick, self indulgent woman. The director, like I said, is so involved with her looks and style, he completely ignores the logistics of reality. Seriously. The less said about Jagpati Babu, the better. He's so caricatured to look like a fool and maniac and sexist. He actually asked his secretary to take pictures of Kirti before he comes down to meet with her. And the secretary actually takes pictures of Kirti's lips, legs, and body. I mean, give me a break, second time. This movie is an insult to your senses and intellect, like majority of Telugu movies. The film is not worth watching. I mean, you'll get bored. It's a waste of time, frankly. Moving on to the film Ludo, churned out of the Hindi film industry, it's an another indulgence about a crook and a murderer. As usual, of course, he's made to look sweet and likable, and his murders comical. In spite of this obvious glorification of a murderer, the film is actually bearable, even likable in parts. After a long time, a couple of songs by Preetham are very melodious and sincere. I especially liked Eli hai meri aankhon ne kasam hai aaj. No offense to Arijit Singh fans, but I find his voice a wee bit nasal, and I would have loved to hear Sonu Nigam instead. But well, that's my choice. Please don't get mad at me, all you Arijit Singh fans out there. The film is about four couples and how all their lives interact with each other, with the dawn right in the center. The main role is played by the popular choice these days, Pankaj Tripathi. Movies about deceit, murder, money, love, hate, sexual exploitation, friend exploitation, marital greed, extramarital affairs by men, and so on. All these emotions brought out to the front with fabulous bunch of actors, and some of them are good on the eye as well. Good actors need not always be bad looking. And Sanya Malhotra, Sanya Sheikh, Pearl Mani, Abhishek Bachchan look awesome and reasonably well. Better than Alia Bhatt and Deepika Padukone, as far as I'm concerned. Asha Negi as Bachchan's ex-wife does pretty good. The best part of the movie is times and pandemic have brought down the so-called star kids and industry insiders such as Abhishek Bachchan and Aditya Roy Kapoor together with relatively new and outsiders such as Sanya Fatima, Asha and Rohit. And they all deliver. Bachchan Jr. is humbled to playing and equal to other actors, and that's what I like about him. He's always a down to earth person, and there is a lot that others so called insiders, such as a glorified Varun Dhawan, Alia Bhatt, Ranveer, and Deepika, need to learn from him. Of course, the star of the film is Rajkumar Rao. He's flawless. The Surpanakha scene, a play in the movie, is not to miss. It's hilarious. His lovelorn looks of, hey, I know you're using me, but I still love you and can't help helping you look is adorable. Music is good, and the child actor Inayat Verma is a pleasure to watch. Could not get enough of her. She's very sweet. This dark comedy is fun to watch and brings a smile to your lips. Though it does glorify murder, mafia, drugs, and blood money, it's still funny, and the Don in the end seems to get some kind of punishment for his sins. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you noticed, there is one common thread throughout the film. All women, in some way or the other, have a negative streak in them. They ditch, though for the right reasons, their husbands. They ditch their husbands, use friends to self goals, kill people like the nurse for money, and kill husband. He's a cheater and utterly contemptible, but still, all women have ulterior motives. All men though are thugs, still are shown as kind and affable, funny and loyal. Did you see the difference? Deliberately injecting negativity against women, very symbolically. So watch out for that. All songs sung by male singers for some unknown reason. Director Anurag Basu of Murder and Jagga Jasus fame intricately weaves a funny saga that, though stretched a bit in parts, is still entertaining and a breezy watch. Nothing much to worry, and you can watch with family, just a little bit of parental guidance recommended. Before I go to my favorite film of the month, just one line for Akshay Kumar's Lakshmi. Please ignore this completely, take it out of your list. It's just cliched, offensive to the core, and mediocre all at once. Now, the star of my reviews this week is the film called Akasam Ni Haddura, meaning the sky's the limit. I saw it in Telugu, but you can also watch this in Tamil and Malayalam. Produced by Surya himself, he's the hero in this movie, and directed by Sudha Kongara. It's a delight to watch this fabulous film based on the true story of G.R. Gopinath, who pioneered Air Dakkan. He belongs to Tamil Nadu. The narrative very intricately yet stealthily weaves a story of upliftment driven by a simple need of bringing luxury of flying to the common person. Generally, it's very easy to make films on a bad person and make them sensational hits. That's what Ram Gopal Varma, Anurag Kashyap, Sandeep Reddy of the Arjun Reddy fame, and all such directors deal with stories of underworld dons and killers and drug addicts injecting a shock sex value that gives some people instant gratification. But it's difficult to narrate a story of a good human being inspiringly and make it an enriching experience. Such stories often tend to get preachy, one sided, and even boring. But Akasam Ni Hadura is absolutely stunning to watch and keeps you focused throughout. In addition to my joy, it's also about gender equality. Has an extraordinary and little bit chubby South Indian cute actress called Aparna Balamurali. I've never seen her before. This is my first one, so I found her very sweet as heroine. By the way, I have nothing against North Indian heroines if they all don't look alike, and if they can bring in some element of South Indianness in their acting and looks as well. That's all. And this movie is directed by Telugu woman Sudha Kongara. Please move aside Mr. Rajamouli's, Ram Gopal Varma's, and even Arjun Reddy's and Sandeep Reddy's, and so on and so forth. We want more Sudhas and more Suryas and more Priyas. I'm sick and tired of women telling women stories that only talk about sex issues and orgasms, nauseated of modern women as being shown as smokers, druggies, drinkers, and sex addicts with a terrible fashion sense, like having a half bald head, as shown in Sushmita Sen's series Arya as Arya's best friend. You remember that? Instead, director Sudha, a woman director, brings into the story of a young, lovely, a bit chubby woman, ambitious and courageous enough to start her own bakery in those days and demands real equality from her future husband. Kongana does this not with lectures and long speeches, but just through simple actions and self goals of the heroine. The hero is actually listening to her and her thoughts and falls in love with her character than with her body and legs. This actually reminds me of a Telugu movie of Allu Arjun's. I don't remember the name, I forget, where the hero is stuck with the heroine's legs. He actually falls in love with her legs. I mean, what can you say? I'm shocked. At the time, it was shocking to me. And the heroine, instead finding this disgusting and insulting, actually falls back right in love with him. Give me another big break. Just imagine if you have a daughter, and if someone does this to her, I'd rather have my daughter kick you. I mean, sorry, kick him or kick his. You know what. Anyways, coming back to the Akasam Ni Haddura, the story is about a small town boy, educated pilot, and actually a very good looking Surya. He dreams about making flight journey cheaper and available to all. He wants to make flights inclusive, caste and class free, and a normal life venture. I remember in my younger days how expensive flights were, and it's very rare that people traveled in flights. That this has become common now in India is thanks to Gopalan. the real life hero of A Deccan. The story and filming from scene one captivates and engrosses you into it. It has its moments of fun, wretchedness, romance, idyllic, heartbreaking, fairy tale-ish moments, and all of them are inspiring and feel realistic and on the right track. Sudha Kongara proves that to make a movie a hit and inspiring as well, you don't need to fall back on crime, drugs, sex, and body exposure. Good, straightforward stories, heroes, and heroines can also be incurable romantics, idealists, sentimentalists, romanticists, dreamers, visionaries, utopians, Don Quixotes, and realists as well. Kongara brings in old time romance back. The aankhon hi aankhon mein ishara ho gaya kind of romance, enough to raise your heartbeat. It's the ideas that match first, then the hearts, and then the souls and bodies. There are a couple of scenes that touched my heart. One when Surya is talking about building careers, light flights, to avoid fuel costs to his chubby wife. And she sits on his lap and asks him, very coyly, tamariki weight unte nachta. And there is a killer look Surya gives her, and it's very, very, very sweet and nice and cute. And there is another scene where when Surya is rushing out in an emergency and realizing that his wife is still at the mall alone, looks back as if to ask her, "Will you be okay?" And I have to go. And she asks him, and she asks him to go ahead and that she can catch an auto. A very simple scene, but shows love and concern, unlike our bulldozing macho heroes. Surya and Aparna as the main protagonists are awesome and excel in their roles. The politics, the rivals, including Vijay Mallya's role, the class and caste bias seem very close to reality, and all supporting cast, including Urvashi, Mohan Babu, Paresh Rawal, Prakash Belawadi, Prakash Kumar. They all deliver in their pivotal roles. Fabulous. A particular scene, a very crucial and turning point incident between Prakash Belawadi, a very fine actor, by the way, and Surya actually shatters and punctures your heart and pinches your eyes. A fabulous scene there. Very nice, very well done. Music by Prakash Kumar is good, and I especially loved the Kartuka Kannule one, and also the Kavvam Chiliki Natte Gundelli Kelikestive Yuddham Jarigi Natte Pranalu Kudipestive. What lyrics! Fabulous lyrics by Ram Jogaya Shastri Garu. They're splendid. No Hindi or English words woven into them, just pure, effective, lovable Telugu. It's a South Indian film touching all South Indians, is what I thought. And the fact that Sudha Kongara is from Andhra and Telangana made my heart swell with pride. Fabulous movie. Please enjoy with your family during the Thanksgiving break, streaming on Amazon with subtitles. That's all this week, folks. More in my next episode. Have a fabulous, fabulous Thanksgiving and a safe Thanksgiving. And please, please don't forget to subscribe and like the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.